I am here because I love you. Oh, yeah, I am here because I really care.
Hello and welcome back to the page. I'm your host, Ashriel Moore, the ambassador of the African Diaspora Collective right here in Israel. Let me ask you all a question. Did you know that since the establishment of the African Hebrew Israelite community here in Israel, in Dimona, in what is called the Village of Peace in the 1960s, we've had a significant amount of celebrities come up to visit the community who are absolutely stunned by what we managed to build in such a very short period of time. A sustainable community, the largest concentration of African Americans outside of America, the largest concentration of Israelites who would return to our ancestral homeland, and the largest vegan community in the world. That's just a few things that they learned by the way. And we're going to talk about it a little more in a minute. But first of all, let me introduce you to one of those people who came, who visited, who adopted the community as their community, who adopted the leader as their spiritual leader, and who we've maintained a very beautiful connection with since the 1990s. Here's some rare footage of our brother Stevie Wonder right here in Israel in the Village of Peace, which you've never seen before. Let's watch and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
And a special welcome to our guest of honor, our beloved friend and brother, global messenger of love, universal warrior of peace, our most beloved, famed, and illustrious family member, Brother Stevie Wonder. Boy, that sweetened up that presentation. I'd like to first of all say to our spiritual leader that I am.
Yeah! Hallelujah!
Give all praises to the Most Highest for the opportunity of being here in this, our community.
Yeah!
Maybe because of my being prematurely born, and because of a lack of oxygen, I became visually impaired. Well, for many years, my mother was very brokenhearted about this, and we went to various faith healers and doctors, and maybe someday I would get my sight, and to give her basically false information. But God had the victory in that, in essence, what they were saying was very true, but not in the way in which they may have meant it being said. They were talking about the vision of sight of the eyes. And in fact, God blessed me in a greater way, with giving me the tools that I even at that early age knew nothing about. The tools of song, of expression, of words, of expression. The spirit that asks a challenge for those of you in the fire choir. And all of you that would like to be a part of this, as you know, we have a performance. I am here because I really care. I am here because I love you. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I am here because I love you. I am here because I really care. I do. I am here from the bottom of my heart. One more time up again. I am here because I love you. Ooh, yeah, I am here because I really care. Hebrew children, I am here because I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
Now, just looking at this video, I really get chills looking at this, because this is the beauty of what the African Hebrew Israelite community in the Village of Peace represent. And as you heard from Stevie Wonder, he said, thank you for welcoming me to our community, because he felt at home in this community. The reason why he felt at home is not because there were a bunch of people of African ancestry that he was just around. He felt at home because there was something really in the spirit of this place. And when I introduce you to other people also would come to visit the community who said some of the similar things, you would be able to understand that it was a spirit of what this community actually represents that caused people to want to come from 7,000 miles away all the way to Israel, to a small village in the desert in the south of Israel. I mean, what would you be looking for in a small village in the south of Israel coming all the way from America if it wasn't something that was deeply spiritually connecting that caused you to want to actually come and to experience that? And so watching the video and seeing also, you know, you have we call them the fire choir today, but they were called then also the fire choir, but the gospel choir as well. They sang gospel music. A lot of the gospel songs that our parents and our grandparents had grown up on. Also, some of the songs which they called Negro spirituals. Those songs that had kept us connected to our ancestral roots right here in Israel, that our ancestors would sing about over the Jordan and go down Moses way down to Egypt land, tell O Pharaoh to let my people go. And Joshua fought the battles of Jericho. And all of these songs that gave a clear indication that the people who were singing these had a spiritual connection to Israel, that their soul was yearning to return to their homeland. And it wasn't to South or to West Africa, where they were taken from West Africa into America to be enslaved, because there were approximately 200 other ethnic groups that were actually taken. But these were people who had remembered. They kept hold to a lot of those traditions, those customs that connected them with the ancestral lineage of Israelites. And so just watching and seeing the videos and seeing how these people are actually connecting, you know, and singing these songs. And I mean, it was a bit longer, but I had to just condense it a little bit so we could be able to focus in on Brother Stevie. Now, the beauty of the community itself, and I'll explain it to you, I'll explain why people are so fascinated by it. Because we managed to build a community that is a model community for what people who are truly seeking peace and serenity and love and family and justice. This is a model community for how that would actually look in reality. If you drew all these principles and said, this is the type of environment that I want to actually create and I want to live in, that's what was created in the Village of Peace in Dimona. Now, obviously, of course, like with everything, you have flaws, some good things, some bad things. But at the end of the day, the foundation was actually set for you being able to live in an environment where you're not afraid to leave your doors open, where you're not afraid that you may experience a drive-by shootout, where you're not afraid that your children are walking around outside to the wee hours of the evening, where you know that your next door neighbor has your back, when you know that your children are going to grow up with the same people all their lives, and they all are going to be holding to very specific principles of morality, of peace, of humility, of respect, right? That the next door neighbor has. So you don't have to be worried about what type of what type of company your children are going to be keeping, because we all were raised on the same principles, on the same moral standards. A place where you have 2,000 people who are your family members, who you enjoy, who you see, who you enjoy often, who you have communal dinners with. A place where there are no gates around it, but people respect it enough to, if something actually happens, to not just walk into the community and just start moving around, but to actually come in to ask for a member of the community who they know are in positions of leadership or otherwise, to provide to them information about something that may have happened seriously or whatever outside the community, or members of the community were involved in certain things. We earned that type of respect where people actually respect the community itself. And so these people who had come to visit them, they wanted to see what would it look like if we took people into an environment that was based on these fundamental principles. How would that look in practice? Because comparing it to a lot of the other communities of people of African ancestry in America and other places, you don't really get that type of environment. You don't get that type of, you don't get that type of love. You don't get that type of security. There's certain things that people are looking for outside of the environments that they're in, because they don't have that peace, that serenity, that love, that family that we've managed to build in the village of peace in Dimona, Israel. They don't have a school that they know that their children are going to matriculate through and are going to be provided all of the necessary tools for them to actually be able to deal with life, but also fundamental manners as a start, as a foundation. Fundamental manners. They don't have a school where you start the day with prayer every morning. They don't have a birthing center where they know that the people who are delivering these babies are going to do it in a natural way, wherein you know that you're going to a place where you could be able to totally feel comfortable with these people, because these are people that you know. You're not going to some environment as a hospital with so many different people and you don't really get the type of treatment that you properly need. You could be able to rest for 40 days if you had a son, or for 80 days if you had a daughter, and know that your family is going to be taken care of. This is the foundation of what the Village of Peace actually represent. Outside of just hearing about the wars and the conflict and the politics and all those things, there are other things that are happening in the Holy Land, where the community, the African Hebrew Israelite community, the largest concentration of vegans in the world, the largest concentration of African Americans outside of America, the largest concentration of Israelites who had repatriated back to our ancestral homeland, have managed to lay a foundation that could be used in any other place in the world. That you can be able to take this model and multiply it 100,000 times in other places, and most likely you'll be able to get the same result if it's based on the same fundamental principles. If the people who are actually involved with the building in the establishment of that community, the people who are joining it for the same purpose, for the same reasons, because they want to create that type of environment for themselves, for their families, for their children, for their, for generations to come, where they know that this is an environment that is safe and secure. That's what we managed to build in the Village of Peace in Israel, which is a model community for all of our people wherever they are in the world. And this is the reason why Stevie Wonder felt so comfortable right here. Besides the fact that also there were some people, Mother Elisheva, who was actually the choir director, who she had a contract with Motown before she joined the community and repatriated back to our ancestral homeland, to Israel. So she was in Motown, in the showbiz with Stevie Wonder and other people, but she chose to leave that alone and to come and to live a life where she can be able to sit back like this and be relaxed and know that she's in an environment with people who have a like mind, who have the same vision, and who have the same desire to provide an alternative to the life that too many other people know about on the outside, that has not done nothing but cause stress and pain and suffering and crying and fear and insecurity and all those things. This is what the community in Dimona came to provide, an alternative to that lifestyle. And I guess that Stevie Wonder actually felt that when he came to the community and other people who came to visit us in Dimona, Israel. So thank you again for continuing to follow me on this journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, you have a great day.